Okay. Now, let us calculate angular momentum of a rigid body due to translatory motion and due to rotational motion. We know already if a particle is moving along a straight line, then we know the angular momentum about some fixed point is, we got it as mv and distance, shortest distance, that we written as mvr. If the particle is moving in a circular path, again we got some equation like mvr, okay, in the last class. And if the rigid body rotates about a fixed axis, then we got angular momentum about that axis. We got it as I omega. L is equals to I omega. Now here the condition is the rigid body have both type of motion. One is translatory motion, other one is rotatory motion. Generally, the combination of translatory and rotatory motion, we can call it as a rolling motion. Anyhow, that will come in the continuation, so that I am going to discuss in the next classes. Here, let us calculate angular momentum of the rigid body due to translatory and rotatory motion. Okay, so let us consider a rigid body which is moving in xy plane. So this is the rigid body which is moving in xy plane with a speed v0, and it is also rotating about a z axis in this direction, clockwise, z axis. Okay, and O is the point, this is the z axis, and the shortest distance from this point is, let us take something y, okay, whatever maybe, or x, whatever. The shortest gap is y I am taking here. Now, due to translational velocity, rigid body have translational angular momentum, and because of the rotational velocity, rotational speed, angular speed, the rigid body have rotational angular momentum. So therefore, the total angular momentum of this rigid body about this point, about the z axis, we can write it as translatory angular momentum and rotational angular momentum. So rotational angular momentum, translatory angular momentum, and here rotation, due to rotation, the body have moment of inertia I and mass m. Okay, anyhow mass is m. I is the moment of inertia about this center of mass. Okay, about this center of mass. Center of mass moving with the speed of v0. So this we can write it as I omega, and it is moving in clockwise. So let us take in vector form minus k cap. Otherwise you can write this is LCM. Cm nothing but center of mass. Okay, angular momentum about its center of mass due to rotation. Due to translatory velocity mvr, mvr nothing but y, and I am writing minus k cap. Because of this rotation I am taking vector symbol, so mvy. So this is the formula which is used to calculate angular momentum of a rigid body due to translatory motion and due to rotational motion. Okay, now based on this, let me continue few problems. Okay, again I'll continue the same extra level of questions after completion of rolling motion. Okay, so I omega minus k cap are the vector form, means into the board. Okay, now let me find angular momentum of a body. Let me find angular momentum of a disc about a given axis as shown in figure. About a given axis as shown in figure. So let us suppose the given the diagram looks like this. See, this is the disc. Okay, this is the disc, and it is rotating with an angular speed omega. Disc mass is m and radius is r. Now I want to find moment of inertia about this axis. Let us suppose this is the z axis passing through center perpendicular to the plane of the disc. So if they ask you to find moment of inertia about this, directly we can write L about z. We can write it as moment of inertia about z and omega. And see, this is rotating in this direction. Okay, so you can write in vector form, it is plus k cap. Okay, anti-clockwise. Iz nothing but m r square by 2 omega k cap. Because here the rigid body have only rotational motion, So the angular momentum is possible due to only rotation. Okay. So this is only rotation. For suppose if they given like this, see this is one axis. Let us call it as I something z axis and circular disk which is rotating about this axis at certain distance something r. So I want to get angular momentum about this axis. Angular momentum about this axis. So about this axis again the same thing. L about z is moment of inertia passing through center is mr square by 2 and use the parallel axis theorem. Okay. So mr square by 2 and r square into omega. It is rotating with omega and anti-clockwise rotation. So plus k cap I am using. Okay. Is it coming this one? Right side? Yeah. So omega k cap. Okay. Let us suppose the disk is rotating like this. Now the circular disk, see this is x-axis, this is y-axis and this is z-axis. Disk is moving in this manner and of course it is rotating with angular speed omega about the z-axis. Okay. And this distance, let us suppose this is something r from this origin about z-axis. Now the disk is rotating around the z-axis in clockwise direction. Then moment of inertia, angular momentum about z-axis is L is equals to, due to translatory it will have one angular momentum, due to rotation it will have one angular momentum. Okay, here translatory and rotatory both will be there. So due to rotational velocity, due to the angular speed, anyhow this is the disk whose mass is m, radius is r and it is rotating about this axis. So again formula will be same, mr square by 2 and this is rotating about this z axis. So mr square by 2 minus k cap and due to this translatory velocity m v r minus k cap. So into omega. So I omega, so this is omega, here omega will come. Okay. Let us suppose this disk is they given like this. Now the same question they ask like this. See this is the circular disk which is at a distance of r from z axis, but it is rotating about y axis. And see it is rotating about this axis. Okay, let us see the question exactly. So and it will have translated velocity v. So it is rotating along y axis. So here in this case the angular momentum we can write it as rotating along y axis means this is the diametrical line. So diametrical line means mr square by 4 and rotating about y axis we can write it as j cap into omega. Mr square omega j cap and this is moving in along x axis in xy plane. So m v r k cap. Okay. Okay. Now let me continue some problems which are based on conservation of linear momentum and also angular momentum. Okay, let me give the question. Okay, next I am going to continue problems based on combination of both translatory and rotatory. It means conservation of linear momentum, conservation of angular momentum. So here, let me give the question here. A small ball whose mass is small m, moving with a speed small u, strikes normally on a rod of mass capital M, length capital L, placed on smooth horizontal surface as shown in figure. Find capital M for which after the collision ball will comes to rest and coefficient of restitution is given small e. Okay, here this problem based on conservation of linear momentum and also angular momentum. Here they given a rod whose mass is given capital M. See, this is the rod which is placed on surface whose mass is capital M and length is mentioned, length already mentioned as L. Okay, capital L or small l, that's not a problem. So length is L. And here they given the diagram, this diagram, and see, this is the center of the rod, and they given a particle whose mass is small m, which moves with a speed u, and this is at a distance of L by 4. They given this thing L by 4 from center. Initially the rod is rested. Now our target is we need to find capital M value. Okay, so we have to find capital M for which after the collision ball will comes to rest, means ball will comes to rest here. Okay, so here from conservation of linear momentum, momentum before the collision which is equivalent to momentum after the collision. Momentum before the collision is, before it is mu, after, so once it strikes and it will comes to rest, this will move with some speed v. Center of mass of the rod will move with a speed of v. So we can write mu is equals to mv, basic formula. Okay, so we can write the center of mass speed is mu by capital M. Let us take this is equation 1. Again apply from law of conservation of angular momentum. So from law of conservation of angular momentum before the collision which is equivalent to angular momentum after the collision. Angular momentum before the collision about center of mass is mu L by 4, mu, and this is a perpendicular distance is L by 4, mu L by 4, which is equivalent to after the collision this rod rotates about this axis with an angular angular speed omega. So this nothing but angular momentum after the collision nothing but I omega. I about this center. I about the center is m L square by 12 omega. Okay, m L square by 12 and omega. So let me get omega from this. So omega is the angular speed of the rod after the collision, and omega which is equivalent to 3 small m small u by capital M L. So I got omega, I got v. V is the center of mass of the, velocity of center of mass of the rod. Omega is the angular speed about its center. Okay, and this is at a distance of L by 4. But the given E is the coefficient of restitution. I think you remember coefficient of restitution nothing but it is the ratio of velocity of separation after the collision to the velocity of approach before the collision. So velocity of separation after the collision to the velocity of approach before the collision. And see, velocity of separation after the collision, velocity of this is approach. Velocity of separation is after the collision, this will have v, and due to angular speed it will have L by 4 omega, because this angular speed at a distance of L by 4. So L by 4 r omega, v is equal to r omega, r nothing but L by 4 omega, and before is u. So E u which is equivalent to v plus L by 4 omega. Substitute v value, omega value here, you will get the answer. So E times of u, v is small m u by capital M L by 4 omega 3 small m small u by capital M. small l gets cancelled out. EU, which is equivalent to mu, you can take it out. So u everywhere gets cancelled out. E is equals to, if I take m common, of course m by m directly we can write. So let me write m by capital M. This is 3 by 4. So m by 3m by 4. So 4 plus 3, 7, small m. Okay, 7 small m by 4 capital M. Then capital M, which is equivalent to 2. Capital M is equals to 7m by 4e. Just check the calculations. Yeah, verify the calculation. 7m by 4 times of e. Yeah, see the next one. Here again, let me give the data. Let me read the problem. So a uniform rod whose mass is capital M, length is L, hinged at point capital A, and it is hinged freely to rotate in a vertical plane, and a ball of mass small m, which is moving horizontally, hits it at a distance small d as shown in figure. Again they given the diagram. Now we have to find d, for which during the collision hinge will not exert any impulse on the rod. So hinge does not exert any impulse on the rod. Okay, anyhow the conditions are very clear. Here also net force, net torque, nothing is there. So we can use again conservation of linear momentum and conservation of angular momentum to solve this problem. Okay, here let me draw the given diagram first. See, here the rod is fixed, whose mass is capital M, length is L, and a particle, a ball of mass small m, which moves with a speed u, which is at a distance d from this hinge. Our target is to find out at what distance this particle has to strike the rod. Of course, the rod will get some angular speed omega about this axis. Now, target is to find out at what distance this particle has to strike the rod so that impulse exert. So it will not, the hinge will not exert any impulse on the rod. Any impulse means momentum. Okay. So this is the particle, and once it strikes, no doubt after the collision, this particle has some speed. Let us suppose v is the speed of the particle after the collision, linear speed, and due to this, rod rotates with an angular speed omega. So let us consider, let v omega are the linear speed of the particle and angular speed of the rod after the collision. Again, let us apply the conservation of linear momentum. From law of conservation of linear momentum, okay, law of conservation of linear momentum, momentum before the collision, which is equivalent to momentum after the collision. Momentum before the collision is mu for a ball. After the collision, so after the collision, this rod, there will be a center which is at a distance L by 2, and if it is rotate, this also rotate. Okay, so from here to here is L by 2, and this v is equals to, means here the speed is L by 2 omega, something v dash. So mu is the velocity, momentum of the ball before the collision, and before the collision the rod is at rest, so plus 0, no need to write plus 0. So here after the collision, mv, momentum of the ball after the collision. Of course we don't know v, and momentum of the rod is m L by 2 omega. So let me write like this: mu minus mv, which is equivalent to m L by 2 omega. So I got one equation from law of conservation of linear momentum. Now let me apply law of conservation of angular momentum. Okay, angular momentum. So from this law of conservation of angular momentum, momentum before, okay, from about this point I am writing mu and this is d. Okay, about this hinge I am writing mud and this is mvd. Okay, after the collision, v is the speed. Okay, mvd, and about hinge I omega. Okay, so this is for ball. About the rod rotate about this point. So I omega m L square by 3 omega. Okay, so take this d right side. We can write mu minus mv, which is equivalent to ml square by 3d omega. Just equate equation 1 and 2. From 1 and 2, because mu minus mv. So from 1 and 2, we can write as capital M L by 2 omega, which is equivalent to m L square by 3d omega. M gets cancelled, L gets cancelled, omega also gets cancelled. So what is d? D is equals to, you will get 2 by 3 L. Means at this distance, that particle of, means that ball has to strike, so that this hinge does not exert any impulse on this rod. Okay, so D is equal to 2 by 3 L. Okay, and see one more. So let me continue one more problem. Okay, plenty of models are there. This ball may hit by making some angle also. If it is hit by making some angle which is some 37 degrees, then resolve the components. Okay, 37 means mu cos 36 m, like that. You resolve the components, then you continue the same model. Okay, and see the next one. See the next. Let me give the question answer this one also. Here, a uniform rod of length L, which is lies on smooth horizontal table, and a particle moving on the table has a mass small m and speed v before the collision, and it sticks to the rod after the collision. So the particle sticks to the rod after the collision, and the rod has mass capital M. Then find out the moment of inertia of the system about a vertical axis. They given the diagram. The moment of inertia of the system about the vertical axis passing through the center of mass after the collision. Okay, they are asking to find moment of inertia about the center of mass. And also they are asking one more question. The velocity of center of mass, they are asking velocity of center of mass, and also they are asking angular velocity of the system about the center of mass after the collision. So they given three questions. We have to find moment of inertia about the center of mass of the rod in a given diagram. I am going to draw the diagram. And next, velocity of center of mass, linear velocity. And next, angular velocity. Okay, let us find all these things. Okay, so before that, let me draw given diagram. So the given diagram looks like this. See, everything is placed on some surface. Here the ball is coming like this, in this way, and rod mass is capital M. This is M. They given. This is V. They given. And after the collision, see, this is before collision. This is after collision. The ball sticks here. Okay, initially the center of mass is here. Once ball sticks the rod, center of mass will shift somewhere. Okay. this is the center of mass. Okay. And see, due to this ball, this will have some speed, something v dash. V dash is the linear speed of the rod about center of mass, and omega is the angular speed. Okay. Here, from here to here, let us suppose distance is something L1 about center of mass, and this distance is something L2. Okay, from here to here, L1 I am taking, from here to here is L2. Okay, from here to the top L by 2, but from this to this we don't know. So this is a small m, and this is a capital M, and these are the two particles which are separated. See, these are the two particles. One is a small m, other one is a capital M. In between them there will be a center. So this is L1, and this is L2. Okay, let us take this at the top. Okay, gap is L by 2. I think you know how to find out this L1 value, L2 value by using center of mass concept. Okay. Is it visible this top? So here, this is one particle, and these two particles are separated. Let me draw here. This is M, this is capital M, separated by L by 2, and you know how to find out center of mass. This is L1, let us suppose, this is L2. Like in center of mass, M1, M2 are separated by a distance d. To find center of mass from M1, you are using M2d by M1 plus M2. And distance of center of mass from M2, M1d by M1 plus M2. Apply the same concept, you will get L1, L2. So let us get the L1 value, L2 value. After that I will continue. And before that, let me apply the conservation of momentum. So from law of conservation of momentum, before the collision is, from law of conservation of linear momentum, before the collision is M, it is V, mv, and after the collision the ball sticks, particle sticks. So M plus M, V dash. So we get V dash is equals to mv by M plus capital M. So I got velocity of center of mass of the rod after the collision, like a common velocity in collision concepts. So V dash is mv by M plus M. And see, let us get the L1, L2 value, because to find moment of inertia about this center, we need to get this L1 value, L2 value. So use center of mass concept to find this L1 and L2. So how to get L1 means, L1 nothing but M2d by M1 plus M2. M2 nothing but capital M. D nothing but L by 2 by M1 plus M2. So this is L1. Okay. So, and L2 is from here, opposite mass is particle of mass M. This is total mass concentrated here. So M L by 2 small m plus capital M. See, just I am using R1 is equal to M2 D by D. D nothing but L by 2. D nothing but L by 2. Okay, D nothing but L by 2. So this is R2 is equal to M1 D by M1 plus M2. So I am using center of mass concept to find L1, L2. I hope that you remember those formulas. And moment of inertia about the center of mass, about this axis. Okay, moment of inertia passing through center means passing through the initial value. So initial is M L square by 12, and capital M is at a distance of L2, M L2 square. Small m is at a distance of L1 square. Some calculations are lengthy, so substitute the values. Capital M L square by 12, capital M L2 square. Capital M L2 is ml. M square L square by 4 m plus capital M whole square, and small m L1. Capital M directly we can write. So capital M square L square 4 small m capital M whole square. Okay. Just you simplify this, you will get moment of inertia through the center is, Let me write directly now. So after simplifications, so you verify this calculation. Just I am missing 2 steps. You verify this calculation. So after simplification, I see we will get it as capital M. It is M plus 4 small m divided by 12 m plus capital M into L square. Just you verify this calculations. Okay, you simplify this equation. You will get capital M into capital M plus 4m by 12 m plus m L square. So this is the moment of inertia about the center of mass of the rod after the collision. And they are asking, yeah, linear speed is completed, moment of inertia is completed. Now to get the angular velocity, you can use law of conservation of angular momentum. Anyhow, before the collision, there is no angular momentum. Okay, before the collision, there is no angular momentum. Okay, and after the collision, the angular momentum about this center is I omega, and about this point I am writing, about if it is something A, about A, and here I am writing, but this is anti-clockwise. So here I omega, or we can write directly, we can equate like this: I omega, which is equivalent to m plus m v dash from about this A I am writing. From here to here is what? L1. So directly I am using law of conservation of angular momentum. So I omega about this only. I omega about the center, this is IC omega, which is equivalent to m plus m, mvr, v nothing but v dash, r nothing but from about this point, it is L1. So substitute again, this is also just you substitute all these things. Omega, which is equivalent to m plus capital M v dash. V dash is m v, directly we can write, yeah. So m plus m into v dash is mv. Capital M, small m plus capital M into v dash. See, small m, capital M into v dash. Let us write mv. mv. Okay, this is completed. L1, capital ML, L1, ML by 2 into small m plus capital M. So L1 completed. And this IC you can take downside. IC, just now you got it, this one. Capital M plus 4m divided by, so let me write in the top. 12, here L square is there, L square, 12 small m plus capital M. Just verify the simplifications. This is 6, capital M gets cancelled, 1 L gets cancelled. So 6 m v, 6 mv by capital M plus 4m. Okay, verify these calculations. Here I missed 1 or 2 steps. Okay, just you verify the calculations. You will get 6 mv capital M plus 4m into 1 L is there. 1 L. Okay, just you check it. Okay, so verify these calculations, and let me continue one easy question. So actually this is related to some rolling motion, but anyhow, no problem. So by using conservation of momentum, we can solve this. A solid sphere of radius r is gently placed on a rough horizontal ground with an initial angular speed is given omega naught and no linear velocity. If the coefficient of friction is mu, then find the linear velocity and angular velocity at the end of slipping. Okay, so initially just you take a ball and spin on surface. Okay, so initially just I given angular speed. Okay, just you spin the ball and place it on table. It will rotate and finally it will move. Means it will gain some translational velocity. So here Initially, they given angular speed something omega naught, radius is r, and they mentioned sphere. Okay, sphere means sphere about this axis is 2 by 5 mr square. And after some time, this sphere will attain some linear velocity v and angular velocity omega. Angular velocity is changes because of this one. Okay, and see here, this is at time t is equal to 0, this is at certain time t, so these things will come in rolling motions, so that I will continue. But here let me apply directly. Initial angular momentum is balanced by final angular momentum. Initially the angular momentum is I omega naught. Finally, due to rotation and translational combination of, okay, so this is the rigid body have translatory velocity and rotational velocity. So just you apply the previous formula. Previous formula is LCM, means due to rotational plus due to translational. Here this is due to rotational, it is I omega. Okay, due to translational mvr, r is the radius. So this is 2 by 5 mr square omega naught, 2 by 5 mr square omega mvr. So here you will get omega, and see at the end what they given at the end of slipping. So starting it rotates. Okay, starting nothing but pure rotation. So here let me use this v as a r omega. Generally you know the condition, v is equal to r omega for pure rolling. So this is mixed anyhow. Okay, mass you strike off it. If I write this v as a r omega, again this is some combination, no problem. So r squared. So 2 by 5 omega naught, which is equals to 2 by 5 omega plus omega. So this is 7 by 5 omega. So 2 by 5 omega naught, which is equivalent to 2, 7 by 5 omega, which is equivalent to 2 by 7 omega naught. So I got angular speed. If they ask to find v, linear speed, v is equals to r omega. So 2 by 7 r omega naught. Okay, this is actually combination, rotational translational. Okay, so 2 by 7 r omega naught. For suppose in the same manner, if they given like this, there is a disc whose mass is m, radius is r, which is moving with speed v and rotating with angular speed omega. If they ask you to find total angular momentum at its bottom, about this one, then we can write directly due to translational speed mvr, due to rotational speed I omega. So I omega plus mvr. Okay, if it is considered as a pure rolling, then you can substitute v as a r omega. Otherwise, no need. So L omega, if it is a disc, m r square by 2 omega, and this is mv, v is equal, let us take r omega. So m r square by 2 omega, m r square omega. So based on the given problem, 1 by 2 plus 1, this is 3 by 2 m r square omega. Okay, so based on the given question, you extend this type of answers. Okay, 3 by 2 m r square omega. Okay, here angular momentum about this point, about this, and due to translatory motion. Okay. Okay. See the next one. So next one is somewhat good level of question. A uniform rod capital AB of mass m and length is given 5a is free to rotate on a smooth horizontal table about a point, about a pivot through P, and a point on capital AB such that AP is equals to small a, and a particle of mass 2m moving on the table strikes capital AB perpendicularly at the point 2a from P with a speed V as shown in figure, and the rod being at rest. If coefficient of restitution between them is 1 by 4, then find their speeds immediately after impact. Okay, so this is some calculated level questions. Anyhow, this problem also based on conservation of angular momentum. Let us see how to solve this problem. Here they given a rod whose length is given 5 times of A. See, this is the rod. Length is 5A and mass is M, and this is pivoted at something point P that is given already. This is at the distance of A, and see, this is the rod AB. And here particle whose mass is given 2 times of M moves with a speed V, which is strikes the rod at a distance mentioned already 2A from point P. Okay, so this is they given. Initially, the center of mass of the rod is here. Okay, initially, and here due to this mass, okay, somewhere center of mass will be there, and see, here as the particle strikes perpendicularly to the rod, then this particle applies some force in a short interval of time, that nothing but some impulse will be there, and here there is no external force and no external torque, so that we can apply conservation of angular momentum concept here. And here once the particle strikes, after the collision, this particle will have some velocity, and they given rod is being at rest after the impact, so there is no linear velocity for rod, but the rod, because of this, the rod rotates with some angular velocity omega. Okay, there is no linear velocity for a rod because after the impact the rod is being at rest and angular velocity is omega. Here the particle strikes here. At this point this particle have some linear speed, so let us consider Vp. Okay, here after the impact this particle have velocity, so let us consider Vp is the velocity of the 2m mass after collision. And if you consider any point something q, this q also have some speed, let us consider Vq. So let me write Vp, Vq are the velocities of the particle, and point q velocities of the particle, and point q after impact, after the collision. Now let me take angular momentum at this point P. So let us take angular momentum about P. So initial angular momentum, which is balanced by final angular momentum initially. So before going to collide this one, initially is 2m, and it is at a distance of 2a with a speed v, initial angular momentum of the particle about this point P, which is equivalent to, the rod is rotated with an angular speed omega, so that there will be an moment of inertia about this center of mass, so sorry, about this point P, and let us suppose this C is the center of mass, and this is I omega. Okay, this is I about P, moment of inertia about point P, I omega, and after the impact this particle have a speed Vp. So let me write like this: 2m velocity of the particle and 2a. See, this is after the collision, this is before collision. After the collision, Vp is the velocity of the particle after the collision. Okay, and see here 4 ma, here 4 ma is there. Let me write 4 ma v minus Vp, which is equal to Ip omega. Ip is the moment of inertia about point P. Let us find moment of inertia about this point. So let us find the moment of inertia about this point P. And see, to get the moment of inertia about this point, then you know moment of inertia passing through center of mass and this gap. So from C to A, gap is 2.5 A initial, and this is 1.5 A, because up to here is given A. This is A. This is 1.5 A. So 1.5 A means, this is 1.5 A means 3 by 2 A. So let me write moment of inertia of this one is 4 ma v minus Vp. Moment of inertia passing through center and perpendicular to the length is ml square by 12, L nothing but 5a square, and gap between center and point P is 3a by 2, m into 3a by 2 whole square into omega. So m gets cancelled out. Okay, let me extend it fast. So V minus Vp, this is 25 by 12 plus 9 by 4 ma square omega ma 4 V minus Vp 25. Let us take 12 LCM. So 12, this is 25, 27 and a omega. So 4 V minus Vp, this is 52 by 12 a omega. So we can strike off this one with some 4 1s, 4 3s, 4 3s. So you will get a omega value 12 by 13 V minus Vp. Just I am getting a omega value, but our target is to find out after the impact speed, means Vp and omega, because after the impact rod is being at rest. So if you find Vp and omega, then those are enough for our problem. Okay. So to get those values, I got a omega. Let us keep this as something equation 1, or yeah, this you keep it as a 1. Okay, some calculation is there. So V minus Vp is okay, and C, and velocity of the point Q. Of the point Q is, this Q is at a distance of 2a and rotating with angular speed omega. So about P, this can be written as 2a omega. So we got Vq, which is equivalent to 2 times of a omega. 2 times of a omega means a omega, just now we got it 24 by 13 V minus Vp. So I got Vq value in terms of Vp. Okay, is it visible? Yeah. So I got Vq value. Target is to find out Vp and omega. To get Vp, let me rub this part. So to get the Vp, so this is Vq, I got it, and initially I see one more condition is given. They given E is the coefficient of restitution. E is the coefficient of restitution between them, that is equivalent to 1 by 4. This is nothing but velocity of separation after the collision to the velocity of separation before the collision. approach before the collision. So 1 by 4, which is equivalent to velocity of separation after the collision. So after the collision, Vp, Vq are the velocities of separation. Okay, so after the collision, Vp, Vq are the velocities of separation. So Vq minus Vp before the collision, V. So we get Vq minus Vp, which is equivalent to 2 V by 4. I got Vq already. Substitute this Vq here. Substitute Vq. So 24 by 13 V minus Vp. So let me multiply 24 directly. 24 by 13 Vp and minus Vp is V by 4. So take this Vp on one side. 24 by 13 minus one by 4 into V, which is equal to 24 by 13 plus 1 into Vp. Verify some calculations. So let me have this one. So here 24, this is 4 to 96 minus 13 so this is 52. Okay, so how much you are getting? Yeah, same into V. Verify these calculations, and this is 24 13 37 13 Vp. Okay, so this is 383, this is 4, so this is 148 Vp. So I got Vp is 83 by 148 V. So this is our answer, 83 by 148. So Vp is equal to 83 by 148 V. Okay. So I got Vp, and next our target is omega. To get omega, use our starting equation. Our starting equation is, we know A omega value. What is A omega? A omega, we got it already. A omega, let me write A omega, so that we got it as 12 by 13 V minus Vp. So our target is to find out omega value. So you will get omega is equals to 12 by 13A V minus Vp, 83 by 148 V. So omega, just you simplify this, 148 minus 83, so you will get finally 15 V by 37A. So these are our answers. Vp, omega, our answers. And Vq anyhow calculated. If you substitute Vp, you will get Vq. So these are the required answers. Vp is 83 by 148 V. Omega is 15 V by 37A. Okay. So here just you see how I calculated moment of inertia about this point. Okay. So I taken passing through center. Center is nothing but it is ml square by 12. L nothing but 5A, and gap between these two is 3A by 2. Here to here is 2.5, here to here is 1.5. 1.5 nothing but 3 by 2. Okay, and calculations you try it. Okay.